Planet Coaster 2 is an absolutely amazing game to build theme parks in, with whatever rides and roller coasters you want. And having spent the first 8 months when the game released building my very own theme park called Isle of Discovery, I realised quite quickly how fun building your own theme parks are. Because I'd never really done it before, I'd just be building recreations and stupid stuff. But the amount of creativity and freedom you have when you're building your own theme park, I just love it. But with us finishing Isle of Discovery many weeks ago, it is now finally time to start my next theme park that I'll be telling you all about in this episode, as I show you the build process of building the entire entrance area. So be sure to watch till the end so you don't miss any of what I'm about to show you and talk to you about, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't as well. This series is going to be a good one, so stay tuned, because there's going to be loads of episodes including this one. And as you can see, we're on the main menu. I thought I'd start it a little bit differently. As we normally do with a new park, I can swivel round the globe so fast. Yeah, we're back in the main menu. As you can see, Isle of Discovery, our last theme park here. If you're on PC, you still can go and download that using the code up here, so go and do that if you want to check that out. But we are not here to dwell on the past. We're here to start afresh and start a brand new theme park. So we're going to click Sandbox, click New Park, and choose a biome: tropical, temperate, Mediterranean. I mean, temperate's sort of the main one, so I think tropical would be a bit of a change and be fit for this park, because when we get through this video and I tell you all about the theme we're going for and what the name of the park is going to be, I think you will understand. Just sorting out some of the settings here. Yeah, we don't want power. Who wants that? All of them are sorted, and we click Create Park. And here we go, loading into our brand new theme park. Genuinely, it feels so weird to be sat here right now in front of this new plane of land that we're going to be building this entire theme park on. And I really hope you guys enjoy this series from this point onwards, because let's begin the time lapse where I'm going to talk to you and show you all of the different things that this park is going to have in it. Let's get into it. I can't wait much longer. Can you believe it? We are back once again with another Planet Coaster 2 series. This time, another theme park, a custom theme park. It feels like yesterday that I ended Isle of Discovery, but also feels like many months ago, despite the fact it was just a month ago, around about this time actually, which is kind of cool. Either way, as you can see, we're starting to build this brand new theme park and its entrance. A new theme park is upon us. And this one is going to be a lot different. And when I say a lot different, I mean a lot different from Isle of Discovery, because I'm not going to talk about it too much, because like I said in the intro, we're more going to be talking about this park, not the previous ones, because we're kind of done with them now, as sad as that is. But this one is going to be so different, because it's not going to be all these sort of country themes or these like sort of themes you see in the game, such as Viking or the Greek mythology or Egypt as well. None of those. It will be very unique to anything you might have seen in this game so far, especially from me, because I have done a lot of stuff in this game and none of it comes close to what I'm going to try and attempt to do in this park. So I hope you guys really do enjoy it. As you can see, the first building in front of us going in. Now, what is this? Well, it's actually going to be the first or the only security point when you walk in the park. So you've got some tables here. They'll have like the conveyor belt with the little like scanny thing that goes through this thing here, whatever that is, and I don't know the technical name for it, that scans your bags, and then you walk through the metal detector as well, just because security is key. Health and safety is paramount, guys, at these parks, and this is definitely one of those parks that's going to have a lot of safety and a lot of realism behind it, which is something I want to get into at some point in this episode. But one thing I do need to mention is what you may be able to see behind this security wall already. As you're entering in, before that, I'm actually giving you a pretty decent view of it right now. You can see lots of rock work, some trees, pathways that look not finished, but look like there's a decent amount that I've already done, and this is where we're starting with this park. Now, the reason for that, me personally, I don't find putting time-lapse in of me building asphalt car parks with rectangles as the actual car parking spaces, because that's how I did that. I don't find that interesting at all. I feel like just putting down that pathway piece and doing that is such a long process that you guys probably don't want to see. There might be a few of you who do want to see it, but for me personally, this series is not about car parks. It's not about anything like that. So I decided to build the car parks and stuff off camera Also in the game, you of course have those buses that do act as the spawn points for guests. That's how they sort of spawn in. You can do the boring ones that are just flat platforms, but I like the bus ones. So I made a bus station along with a central train station. I've never done anything like that before, so I thought it'd be really fun to make a small train station, and this park has one before you enter in. Again, maybe I should have time-lapsed the train station, but it's not part of the theme park, which is why I didn't bother with it. As you can see though, let's talk about what is going on here. I still haven't told you what this park is at all, so I need to get into that at some point. But this here is, after the security point, the entrance plaza to the park. Now originally I was just going to do a sort of semicircle shape, and then you just walk in, and that's your plaza area before the entrance. But I thought it'd be really nice to have just a nice little pond area. As you walk around it, you've got the sort of central piece in the center, which you might have already seen in the teaser I released the other day. But there's genuinely so much going on in that one little plaza area. You've got like ticket offices I'm going to build and other stuff like that. And then the main entrance archway, which is going in now. And if you don't know what the park is, or the sort of themes I'm going for, or anything like that, and you haven't seen any of the teasers, and you're sort of seeing this for the first time, keep your eyes peeled, because the entrance archway that is going in pretty much gives away what the park is going to be in a nutshell. But we'll get onto that soon, because I want to talk a little bit about the colours I've gone for this park. I always like to have a sort of base palette of colours for a theme park, because I think that just really works well. So for instance, with my last one, I'm going to keep mentioning it, Isle of Discovery, that was a dark blue, yellow and white. This one is going to have a very dark cyan type colour, if that makes any sense, a little bit of white / grey, and this sort of yellow beige brick colour, I guess you could call that. I think it looks really nice. It just looks quite classic, quite classy, a little bit Hollywood here and there, but this is the sort of thing I want to go for with this park, whilst also making it look very natural, which you'll see come into play when we build that little pond area as you walk around into the park. But yeah, just trying to do the finer details here. And this is one thing I can talk about. There are going to be at least 5 areas in this park, and I'm not saying at least to be like, I might only build 4. No, there's going to be 5. I'm going to make sure there's 5, but there could be 6. I don't think there will be, but there might be. But those 5 areas will probably be in a similar format to Epic Universe. I take so much inspiration from that park. I've not even been there. It just looks amazing. Well, I say I haven't been there. Not until next month, because I will be there. But they do such an amazing job of separating each area, and I think that works really well, having a sort of gateway or a portal in their world. I don't really know if it'll be portals. I sort of decide as I go. We'll see what happens, but there'll be a central area. Not the same theme as Celestial Park, but very much the theme we're going for with this whole park in that central area. And then you'll walk out to the left, right, forwards, wherever, to separate lands. And they will all have looping round the outside sections that will take you from one land to the other without having to go back to the central point, because I think the flow of Epic Universe could be better in that respect. But again, I've never been, so I don't know. I really can't wait to go there. The inspiration when I've been will probably be soaring, and you'll see so much stuff in this project that will be related to that. But I am taking a lot of inspiration from so many different parks, and one of the main ones for this entrance area, I'm basically going to give away what the park theme is here, is Walt Disney Studios in Paris. You can very much tell from the sort of colour scheme. I didn't mean for it to be the same as it. I sort of realised after I searched up photos and sort of reminded myself what the entrance area was like. Oh yeah, I've gone for the same colour palette pretty much, maybe a bit darker, but the themes and stuff inside the park will not be like that. They won't be Disney themed, if that's anything to you, I guess. I'm not going to be revealing all of the themes in the park just yet, because I think it'll be really cool to keep them a secret and sort of reveal them as we go. There might be some hints as we go later in this video, but there's going to be a lot of exciting different themes. It's not all films, it's not all video games. There's a huge mix of what you're going to see in this park, and I'm so excited to get into it. But yeah, that is the main entrance area pretty much done. We're going for this very elegant looking archway style with the stone and the brick, and then you've got that main centerpiece at the top, which is going to sort of embody where the logo is. I don't know why I made that sound so complicated. That's just where the logo is, nothing else. As the gates go into the park, well, they don't go into the park, they sort of fling towards the outside, showing that the park is open and ready to go. Obviously, the park isn't open right now, but you get what I mean. Also, I wanted to point out, I am loving this park series so far. We're in one episode in, not even one episode in, because this one isn't even halfway through. But the reason I say that is because what I've been building so far in this theme park is just everything I've learned throughout the past 8 to 9 months of playing this game, all embodied into one park. And I really can't wait to keep going. And then after this theme park's done, we'll do another one. There'll be even more that I've learned from this one, and we'll put it into that park as well. So even with the train station I've built over there that I'm going to show you in real time when we go into it later, and this entrance area as well, there's so much I've learned within this game. You can look back at the Isle of Discovery as sort of entrance plaza and the bus station and everything. It looks so much worse than this one, and I'm really, really happy with how this has gone so far. There you go. The new series has started with a "I'm so happy with it" comment. But yeah, I'm just so excited to get into a new park, and hopefully you guys can join me in this journey. Help with the ride names, with any themes you have ideas for. Obviously, again, by the sounds of it, what I'm saying is that it's going to be a lot of IPs. So if you have any like video games or films that you like, or you think would be really, really cool in a Planet Coaster 2 ride or area, let me know in the comments, because I really would love to hear it. Because I also need a name for this park. The name is going to be decided a lot earlier than I thought, because I would just love to get a name straight off the bat so we can start calling it a nice name really early on. If we can't, that's fine, but if you have any name suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I want to see you guys come up with so many amazing ideas for names. I absolutely love reading through them all. I try and read through them all. I absolutely love them. So thank you so much for all of the support on all of these videos and all of the name suggestions and everything, because they are amazing. And hopefully we can see some really cool ones for this series as well. So there you go. Nice little flower beds there. I love the shaping so far as well. The fact it's not all just a flat plane of ground. We've got it going downhill, and when we go into the park as well, that central area is also on a downhill, so it'll be really good. I just love it. It gives more depth to the theme park, I think. I don't know why I'm going so in-depth about the depth of the ground, but we'll run with it. Because also, going into this theme park, we have some new tricks that I've learned. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but it's sort of come up on my screen. As you can see, I saw a video a while back. I'm going to put the video on screen or in the description, if I remember. Apologies if I don't. But there was a tips and tricks video about Planet Coaster, and this person's been learning the game and seeing what's really cool about it and what you can do, or if you can glitch it at all and do different things. And they discovered that you can actually make waterfalls run really well as non-waterfalls. Now that sounds like it makes no sense, but I'll explain. Pretty much, instead of using the classic water jets, waterfall top, bottom, middle that they have in the game, you use the water shapes and you stick them on a rotational device and spin them really quickly down a hill. You have circular ones you can use to make an entire circle, like quarters of circles, so you get what I mean. And then you create this really cool effect, splashing down these hillsides or whatever, and then you just add some little water splashes in that actual effects menu from there, and it looks really realistic. It looks way better than the actual game ones, because you can actually make it go down separate pieces of a hill or something like that, which is exactly what I'm doing here and what I'm going to do in that central hub, and I absolutely love it. Shout out to that person that managed to find that somehow. I don't know how the hell you managed to figure that out and actually start doing that waterfall business with that. It's really, really cool, and I'm definitely going to use more tips and tricks throughout this series to make this park more realistic than ever before, because I've said it already, I'm going to say it again. This park is going to be more, well, I want it to be a very high budget park that's a bit of a dream theme park, but there will be a lot more realism in this one. I've already started thinking about the sort of the benches and the bins everywhere, because I just completely forget about that every time I make a theme park. Back of house areas as well, even for instance, when we go into the park, there's going to be a massive building you're going to first walk into. I'll explain later. And that building is going to have sort of fire exits, and it's going to have those sort of lanes on the outside that say it's shut for some reason, you can send guests that way. So it's stuff like that. Very, very much stuff that no one cares about except from people that love realism. And I do like a bit of realism in my parks. I've never really had the time to do it, so hopefully this park can be the time for that. Talking of timings and not having the time for certain things, when is this park going to sort of release episodes? You know how usually a park series is weekly, or my Universal Great Britain recreation is whenever, because I always mess it up and end up doing loads at once and then completely forget about it and then go back to it later. Yeah, it's a mess. But how many episodes is this series going to have? Well, if you saw the teaser, 20 episodes total is what I'm aiming for. It should be about that, if not maybe less. I'm hoping it'll stay around that. But you're also going to see an episode, fingers crossed, most weeks. I'm going to say most weeks because I am going on holiday, a massive holiday, which is going to have the biggest vlogging series on this channel come from it in a couple of weeks' time. Very excited for that. But that means there won't be an episode of this potentially for a week or two. Same with this past week in theme parks. I'm sorry, guys. But you will see this series in complete full form when I return, and it'll be a weekly series. So I'm going to try and stick to it weekly, but don't get your hopes up because most weeks I'll try my best, but I can't guarantee it every single time. Making a nice little gift shop here. I'm actually going to finish this one straight away, not in this episode, but next episode, so you'll see this all complete, not like the previous one where I just completely forgot about it for ages, and it took 20 episodes to complete the gift shop. It's okay, I won't forget this time. But again, going for a nice, similar theme to that entrance. Look at it go. It's lagging a lot on my screen, what's happening. But I want the feel of this park to be very different from, again, anything I have done before. So pretty much, before the security, you're going to just be walking around a nice little area. I guess it sort of looks like any theme park, car park and bus station area ever. So nothing special. You then walk through the security, through these archways, and you enter into a really nice area of natural beauty. And you go down those sort of hills to the left and right, around the pond in the middle, or lake, and then go towards the entrance archways of the technically studios that you're entering, if you want to call it that for now. And then once you enter into there, you see a lot of buildings that are similar, such as the guest services, this gift shop, and this huge Studio One-esque building in front. Now, I say Studio One, that's because the one at Disneyland Paris in the studios there is called that. And like I said, I'm taking a lot of inspiration, so anyone at Disneyland Paris, it's a great park, but I'm going to try and make it my own, but better. Not to say that Studio One is bad. Oh, I'm digging myself a bigger hole here. But I want you to walk into that entrance plaza and then be faced with this huge building right in front of you that I'm literally starting to build right now. That was really good timing. And as you see that, you're going to be able to walk through that building, and then as you go through it, you're going to transport into the world where all of these things exist. So technically the front of the park is the studios because you're sort of walking into the area that they're all made, and then as you walk through this building, you're then going to be in the central hub where all of them now exist. If that makes any sense to you whatsoever. I feel like it makes sense in my head. I probably haven't explained it correctly, but that is what I'm trying to go for here. So you're not entering through this building and going straight into a park where you're going to have like a tram studio tour and like this huge new ride that's based on how films are made. Nothing like that. It's more so actually transitioning through this building from the studio front to then being part of the films, video games, even other stuff that I'm not going to mention yet because spoilers. You're then part of that when you get out of this building and you're into that central hub, if that makes any sense. I know, again, I'm not very good at explaining myself, especially ideas that are very much not fully there yet, because the park isn't there yet either, because we haven't built any of the park pretty much. We've just built the entrance area. So that vision is there, but it will come into full play as the park continues to be built. I'm only going to show you a little bit of this bit because we're getting towards the end of the time lapse and I have so much to show you in real time. I wouldn't be surprised if this video is like half an hour long. But you'll be able to see right here some of the gates going in at the side. Again, that realism coming in if you couldn't go through the main building itself because of refurbishments. Maybe something's happened inside, I don't know. You then have these gates around the side so the park can still be accessed, because it would be a pretty bad thing if the park wasn't accessible during that time. You also then have the main plaza area out the front of there coming together now, and this is the sort of pathway section that will then link all of the different areas together. And I'm going to talk about it more as the series goes on, all the different themes and stuff we're going for. I'm not going to reveal them just yet, as I've said. I can't wait. Some of the themes have so many different opportunities to build amazing rides. A lot of dark rides in this park, by the way. I want to mention that. There'll be a lot of different sort of indoor spaces utilized, because I feel like the atmosphere can be very much more controlled when it's indoors, and that'll definitely benefit me when it comes to these ride themes. As you can see though, the pathway going in for the main section, it took a lot of deciding on how big to make it, what shape to make it even. I sort of went for this sort of weird star shape, and then we cut out bits in the middle in just a moment. There was loads of different stuff, and I hope this has given you a good insight into what it is like sort of starting a park, because I know I haven't really started it in this episode, and it's sort of just, you know, I've built loads of infrastructure beforehand. But when you actually start the theme park itself, it's sort of hard to get the ideas for what your park's going to look like. And you can see the amount of trial and error I've been doing the entire episode. So I hope that's given you a bit of an insight into that. Obviously, I would have loved to have shown you the entire process of building all that infrastructure. But I did it over a very long period of time, and it was quite boring. And I don't know if you'd want to watch it. But we're going to look through it all when we go into real time. And I think we're going to go into real time in a moment. Because what am I doing with these pathways? Yeah, let's just... I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go into real time. Yes, we are now in real time. And as you can see, we're in an area that has not been shown on camera at all, with some road signs and sort of car park directions right here. And as you can see, we've got a roundabout logo. And you can see right in front of us, that roundabout that was on that very sign. There's going to be some stuff in the center of there to signify that you are entering the park's area. And there will be loads more signage and stuff to come. But as you can see, this would be the road you would drive into for the car parks. You drive down there to the left. We cross this road here as well. That's where you would exit the car park right here. If we walk just down this way, as you can see, there's the sort of exit barriers. As you can tell, going a bit more realistic with this one. A very big car park, as you can tell, but that is going to expand even more around the corner as we head towards this side, which is where the buses and central station are. So as you can see, on our right, we have some just generic buses to, I said buses to London on the sign, but they're just buses to anywhere. And then over here, we have buses to Isle of Discovery. I'm actually going to say that this park itself is going to be the sister park to Isle of Discovery officially, so you can get buses straight to there. And if you fancy it, you can also get the train. Yes, this is the central station. I'm actually going to need a name for this, so I guess I'll probably make it named after the park. So if you have any park suggestions, that'd be better. But the train station does need a name as well. I went for a very typical, like, old British King's Cross style station, as you can see. And then I probably have decked the inside out with too many pieces for an outside of the park train station. With, as you can see, platform 1 and 2, and the first train is at 2024, calling at Isle of Discovery train station. That doesn't exist, I'm afraid. You've got a ticket office over there, you've got like a clock, you've got ticket machines right here. Yeah, you've got loads of stuff. There's going to be like cafes on either side, there's toilets, and yeah, I've gone very British for this. It might look a little bit cleaner than most stations in the UK. You've got like the yellow line on the floor and even the ticket machines here, which we've hopped over. God, we're going to get caught by the police. There will be more to come within that train station, so stay tuned for that. Some nice little planters here with some flowers, and then over here will be another sort of centerpiece to signify you've entered the park. And then, of course, this huge open area that then leads you all the way into the security area. There's a lot of areas today. We'll walk in, as you can see, going straight forward. We'll put our stuff on the side. Not that I have anything, but let's just act like I do. Go through the metal detector. Why is it beeping? As we enter through, and you see the Kronos again. Ah, look at it. It's back. But this time at the front of the park. Nowhere near the entrance, just sort of up on the hill. Oh, isn't it beautiful? Different colours. I love it. He's loving it as well, apparently. But I wanted it so this sort of section before you go down the hill is actually not a really good view of the park entrance, because as you walk down the hill, you really start to get a good look at that entrance. Look at that. There you go. There is the archway. Very, very happy with how that looks. And obviously that waterfall over there. Look, you can see how realistic that looks compared to the sort of in-game ones. It looks so much better. Definitely going to be using that more. The logo for the park will be up there when we eventually have a name. And as we walk through, this section is very unfinished. The gift shop over here doesn't have anything in it yet, but it will next time. You've got a fountain and then the guest services and the little pathway down to the side. But the main feature that isn't complete is the building in front of us. That huge studio, I'm going to call it Studio 2 for now, because it's sort of the second theme park that I'm making, and also a rip-off of the Disneyland Paris Studio 1. Studio 2, as you can see in front of us. Now, obviously, the shape very much remained the same as you saw on the time-lapse. I built that sort of weird archway shape. I really like that. But I have since added some like trims to the walls, and obviously the doors, and of course those posters, which actually do have a little bit of a sort of signifier to some of the areas that are going to be in this park. Yeah, you can sort of see how that would look without those massive question marks, because it looks a lot nicer now. But like I said, the shaping of this building isn't perfect yet. There's a lot of details to add throughout it. And of course, the inside of the building is not complete either, which is what the next episode in this series is going to be based on. Building the inside of Studio 2, which is where you are going to enter through from the entrance plaza into the park and eventually come out to here. There you go. There's our sort of layout for the weird lakes in the center of the park. And you can sort of tell already how we could have one area branching there, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a very simple layout, but I think it's going to work really, really nicely. And so far, this corner, it's just looking really nice. And I just can't wait to finally get stuck in building a brand new park and making so many different themes that I think you guys will love, especially with the coasters I'm going to make in that, because some of them I have planned are going to be mental. Make sure you subscribe so you can stay tuned throughout this entire build process of this new park, and be sure to leave any name suggestions for the park and anything else I've mentioned in this video in the comments below. Many thanks for watching.